You are an inspecting officer in an NGO working for emancipation of people from socially most disadvantaged group in India. Basically, SC/ST or something like that, tribals, no, or transgenders maybe. As a practical need and also requirement of the project, you have chosen some people from the same disadvantaged community as volunteers. In your experience, it takes time and effort to locate and train such a volunteers with the requisite leadership and social skills. Now, these volunteers are paid some honorarium in the lieu of their services. However, personally, you have always felt that the honorarium is very meager considering the amount of the work. So पहले से ही उनकी सैलरी जो है आप सोच रहे कम है, ओके, आपको पता ही है. So basically you are doing this and you are training people from the same community so that some kind of leadership building also happens and work also happens. Okay, so some activity is going on for the people, but in the same way the activity is going on for through the people only. Okay, so one day you receive a complaint that one of your volunteers is accepting small amount of money from beneficiaries. Upon inquiry, you notice that two things. Firstly, the volunteer is from very poor economic background, and secondly, the beneficiaries believe that such a payment as deserved reward for his going of an extra mile in the service. Now, list out the different options you have as inspecting officer, evaluate each option according to their merits and demerits, and choose the most suitable option and justify. Straightforward question hai. As far as the questions are concerned, it's very straightforward, but when it comes to writing answers, there will be many things to be covered. Okay. कैसे लिखेंगे? So again, now this point is what you have to write is first the case or the details of the case, whichever with the subheading. Then comes options. Okay. Then comes evaluation of options. Here what you do is okay, so this is option 1, option 2, generally option 3 are there. 3 options are. This is a major part where you can clearly show your understanding, and this is merit, demerit, merit, demerit, merit, demerit. You can write option 1, option 2 because you already mentioned option 1. You name like this: option 1, option 2. You have to just define it. What option is option 3? Right? Then choice or my choice. That would be option 3. I'll explain why option 3 is. Okay, and then my choice is option 3. So you write I chose option 3. Number 2, the positive points like whatever ethical and moral things. Why? This is part of justification only. Okay, and then here again to minimize the effects of demerits. Then you write 1, 2, 3. Now here minimize the effect of this thing is basically you plan some actions so that this thing is reduced, the impact is kind of reduced. Now what is the, again same thing, now I think by now you are habitual to it. First is, what are the facts of the case? Now what is your roles and responsibilities? See, if you can mention point by point also, no, like fact of the case, how would you mention? Number one, you mention what fact is, though its role is, responsibility is, one liner. Okay, then in implementing the responsibility, what are the challenges and what are the ethical values at stake? Okay, now in the challenge there will be mention of stakeholder. I already mentioned. So what some stakeholder will be mentioned in the form of roles and responsibilities also, but basically stakeholders is the problem when one stakeholder, if you want to serve, kind of satisfy and do something benefit one stakeholder, the other will be compromised, something like that. That's why stakeholder is the one who creates the challenges. Okay, so you can write just 1 2 3 4 5 like this, one line for one aspect, so case will be clear to you. No need to repeat the case, obviously. Okay, what are the options? First of all, no action, remove him, and third is reprimand him. Okay, now no action means what? Compassion you are showing, okay, practical consideration, okay, but then wrong message, corruption tolerated, okay, and in future it may go further wrong. Everybody will start doing corruption because corruption ek tarike se. Okay, then remove him, exactly opposite to is no tolerance, zero tolerance to corruption, right message and things like that, but here compromised compassion. Okay, utopian. Okay, then maybe discouraging to others, discontinuity of the work, because suddenly that you have mentioned, no, it takes a lot of time to train the people. In that case, here what you are doing, somebody who is trained, you are kind of somebody who is trained, what you are doing is basically you are removing him. So obviously there will be a problem. And then third is reprimand. Then what happens? Again, reprimand merits are basically both the merits combined, but still there is like still strong enough message is not sent. Negative to hai hi na iske bhi. Strong enough message is not sent. It might be time consuming. Okay, it's like no, zero tolerance. There is a tolerance, no, to corruption. So these things go negative, but it's okay. You are ready to compromise because you are showing compassion, giving chance. Okay, practicality, continuity of the work. Okay, some sort of messaging. Okay, now there's one more thing that you're doing, kind of 3, and these things your choice will be choice number 3, because the similar things you just explained in a broader point of view, that it follows this, it follows that, and here the demerits also can be reduced. Number 1, increase salary. Now increase salary as in you will not increase, but at least send some report, some information to the seniors. Have dialogue with the concerned person. If some financial problem, temporary financial problem, you can personally help. That is also possible if you can, or I can. Okay, maybe if he needs some 10-20,000, I can help him because there is a trust. And point is, you need to understand one thing: he is a good person as long as the work is concerned. So he's a efficient worker. So we cannot lose him, right? here because you have to maintain the work culture also, continuity of the work also. Now generally this happens that what you are writing in merit would be here, but here what you do is in justification it should be more ethical terms. Ethical terms should be used more. So if it is repeating more, don't expand much. You just write this much, that will be enough. Why you chosen option 3? Generally because of these merits only you chose option 3. Okay, what you can write is generally what you would actually do in addition to the option 3, like this, to minimize this effort. So there will be only 2-3 points because you already cover here merits, why you chose option 3, and then you can put these things here. So maybe your answer will be this much. Somewhere here it will be over, which is okay. Okay. See, this is the thing. If you practice more, you can play with the answer sheet and it will be very comfortable for you to write answers. And it's very, very possible.